Let's go back to the beginning. Back where it all began. What's up, guys? I've got Pencil here, and here we are to do a breakdown and discussion on Versus Battle Wiki's estimation of Meliodas, the captain, the wrath of the seven deadly sins, and see if they evaluated him accurately, if they lowballed him, if they highballed him, if they did something in between. Let's see. Let's use our eyes to gleam upon the truth of Meliodas, one of the mightiest. But, of course, let's not waste any more time, and let's hop right into it. Ending me. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? That guy with a... Oh, no. Oh, no. Pencil here. Fun fact, I do happen to have it on me, and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact, Meliodas. I've already covered his Versus Battle Wiki interpretation before, but that was like 2 or 3 years ago now. Time has been flying, and it has been repeatedly requested of me to go back and take another look at what they've done for the wielder of lost vein, the demon who brings all pain, the strongest creature, well, not the strongest creature anymore, was once, for like a very short period of time, the strongest creature we knew of in the entire series. Obviously, things have changed, time has passed, and let's take a look in a book, No Reading Rainbow, to determine what Versus Battle Wiki has to say about Meliodas, the captain of the seven deadly sins. Alright, let's see. So let's look at the tabs. Let's look at the tabs here. Are we gonna, is this, now there are a couple questions I have, because I haven't looked at this. It's been requested, but I haven't looked at it very specifically because I want to have a mostly fresh reaction. And by mostly, I mean like entirely. I mean, I've seen most of this before, because like I said, I did a breakdown video of this right around when the series originally ended. That was pre-Four Knights though, and there are some new Four Knights things that may add extra context, may take away context. There's some funny stuff up in the air. But I do recognize most of these tabs. I think I remember this very specific image being used for base Meliodas, so this is interesting. I don't see any tab for Four Knights or King Meliodas, which is interesting. I mean, like, I know it's not necessarily confirmed whether or not the sins became stronger over the Four Knights time skip or not, but I would typically try to include them. I spit out a bubble. But I would typically, like, if I was, like, breaking them down, like, I wouldn't, well, I guess, if I was doing a comprehensive How Strong is Meliodas video again, I would include King Meliodas as his own separate tier, because, like, weird things happen with him, especially considering how you view certain things that happen in Four Knights and what Meliodas does with that. But of course, let's see what they have here. Okay, we got base. This is specifically Season 1 base, wielding Liz's Gift Sword. Let's see, we got Wrath. Which Wrath are they going to use here? This is going to be interesting. Okay. Because once again, pretty much a Season 1, early Season 2 exclusive form. I believe we don't see this form ever again after the Gallon fight, which is what, like 130s? I think. So this is that state demon mark. Which demon mark do they... Oh, okay, so they use this demon mark. Demon mark... Interesting, they only have... Oh, never mind. There are sub-tiers. Okay, so... With Lost Vein. Oh, without Lost Vein, with Lost Vein. Okay, so this is start of Season 2 Meliodas, just when he got Lost Vein back against the Albion. These are good images they use. I believe all of these... I think... once again, I don't actually play Grand Cross. I don't like gacha games. I'll be completely real. If you ever wonder why I've never necessarily mentioned Grand Cross or anything despite being a massive /Sin Four Knights fan, I don't like gacha games. It doesn't matter for what series. Whether it be Naruto, whether it be Dragon Ball, whether it be Seven Deadly Sins, you can make a gacha game of Kingdom Hearts, and they literally did, and I still didn't play it. So I really don't like gacha games. But I believe these images are from that, and if not, I'm not actually sure where these images are from. I want to assume that, but then again, I know very little, if anything, about Grand Cross. I only know, like, some character designs got lifted from Grand Cross because Nakaba designed them into the Four Knights manga, but even then, those were reduced down to pretty much cameos. I don't think we ever got any, like, big, massive stuff. And I remember they did something about Ragnarok. But, let's see, Wrath. So Wrath only has this specific variation. There is a Wrath with Lost Vein, but considering how little it does to Gallant, it kind of, I understand why you don't include that one. Demon Mark, alright. So we have the first Demon Mark. Yep, this is the smallest Demon Mark Mel spawns in the entire series, I think. Except the only smaller one is, like, that flash of Demon Mark he does against Golgis. Let's see, second Demon Mark. Okay, so this is Demon Mark specifically against Stroll and Gluxinia when he fought the Commandments. Third Demon Mark. Okay, so this flashes all the way back to Prime Meliodas. That's another thing I would do. I would break off Prime Meliodas into his own thing. Because even he has, like, different stages of Demon Mark and level to it. And, like, his assault mode variations are different. If we've ever even... I don't think... Have we seen it? We've seen it once. In one flashback panel. We've never actually seen Prime Assault Mode Meliodas except for one flashback panel with him and Elizabeth. Their first meeting. That's the only time we've seen that. Actually, no. We've also seen Prime Meliodas in assault mode in the Zelda's flashback during the Demon King fight. I think those are the only 2 times we see it, but that is a separate thing. And I'm trying to think, when do we see... It's rare, but we do see this third stage demon mark. I think it actually matches the assault mode demon mark. Let's see which assault mode they have here. Yep. So this is post-resurrection assault mode Meliodas. I don't blame them. Once again, the only other ones are post-purgatory assault mode Mel, and yeah, post-purgatory assault mode Mel that we see for a very short glimpse against the Demon King. We don't see it in Four Knights at all. And then, once again, that very, very, very short period where we see assault mode Prime Mel against Elizabeth and against Zeldris. And even then, that weird I think he doesn't even have, like, the cape of assault mode when he's in that Prime flashback with Zeldris. But, let's see, and True Magic. Yep, there really are no variations of this. It's just this True Magic, and that's the image I always use whenever I refer to True Magic, so... W images. And once again, I understand not like the giga crazy breakdown. Like, you could arguably break this down like into base, beginning of series, base prime, base post-purgatory, base king. Like, there are different variations, but like if you're trying to hit the core fundamentals, Wrath, the Demon Mark, Assault Mode, True Magic Form, and With and Without Lost Vein are the major ones. So overall, we're already starting good on the tabs. Let's see. I would review the quotes, but I don't remember those. Not always. So let's see. Summary. let me hit the most smoothest and butteriest narrator voice I can. Let me take a sip so I can prepare properly. My apologies for my computer's rampant screaming. I'm trying to do something with the audio to hopefully fight that, but knowing my luck, it will not transpire in my favor. And if the video and audio ever get out of sync, I'm sorry. I'm trying. But with that being the case, Meliodas is the dragon sin of wrath and the captain of the 7 deadly sins. In the present day, he cheerfully runs the Boar Hat, a bar based on top of a giant pig, serving patrons an infamously terrible food along with his brand of the juice. The sin referred to in his epithet is the destruction of the kingdom of Ganivore, done by Meliodas in a fit of rage after his first battle with Fraudrin. Okay, so we're covering early series, Mel. It's like he loses the Boar Hat. Actually, no, he keeps the Boar Hat for a while. His happy-go-lucky facade belies his troubled past as the firstborn son of the Demon King who betrayed his own race, including his younger brother Zeldris, for the sake of his lover, the goddess Elizabeth. He was cursed with immortality by the Demon King for his betrayal, while Elizabeth was cursed with perpetual reincarnation by the supreme deity. And Meliodas has continually loved and lost her many times over the last 3,000 years. I think it's like 101? I think our Elizabeth like the 107th. So that's a lot. 3,000 divided by 130, I think. Math. I can't math right now. But with that being the case, alright. Maybe we aren't going to cover King Mel at all. That's interesting. I mean, I don't blame, but we do have a fight for him. And we do have some statements about him. So you could technically cover King Mel. You could, but I understand why you don't, because like this is the main one. Like, when people are thinking of Meliodas, some people don't even, like, especially, I'm not sure where the anime is at, but I'm presuming that we haven't even got to Leonis yet in the anime based on how much stuff happens in the back half of the 4. And again, I think it's been running for like 12 episodes. They're kind of like 2 chapters an episode, 12, 24. Yeah, I don't think, unless you're covering like 4 chapters an episode, I don't think you're at Meliodas' return in the anime. So it's very likely that not many people even know that much about King Mel, because the one King Mel we see in the original series is post-time skip who has no feats, and the other one is like a possible alternate timeline future version of himself fighting against Kath, which he immediately breaks out of before he gets any feats on Kath. So like, I'll blame that King Mel not showing up. So if you're going to go specifically off the 7 deadly sins one, that makes sense. Let's see. 6B, at least I don't know, I forget what these letters and numbers mean. 6B, at least in Demon Mark, with Demon Marks, at least 6B, Assault Mode, 6A. Okay, let me just go to... Oh, wait, we do have 4 Knights. We do have 4 Knights. We do have 4 Knights. Let's see. Classification. Demons, Dragon Sin of Wrath, Captain of the 7 deadly sins, one of the Demon King's sons, former leader of the 10 Commandments, former leader of the Holy Knights of Danfor. I forgot that. I always forget about that. I forgot he was, like, actually their captain. Let's see. Originality, times that male age over 3,000 years. Actually, I guess biologically, because that's his soul. So I guess legally speaking, he is only over 3,000 years. But technically, going off the time that he was tucked in purgatory as a soul, he should be like 4,000 plus. Maybe even 5,000, because he was there a bit longer than Bond was for a while. And then they have like their whole 112-year fight. So there is a bit more. Once again, semantics, That's super specific knowledge on the series that you'd have to infer, and that's if you go with the idea that his soul counts as aging. Because technically his body was in the regular time space, and thusly an extra 1,000 years didn't actually pass. Let's see. Powers and abilities. Sealed Prime. Ooh, Sealed through Prime. Assault Mode, Post-purgatory. Abilities resistant. Oh, no true magic? Okay, let's see. Demon Clan Physiology. Statistic implication can transform to increase abilities. Correct. Magic? Correct. Extrasensory perception. True. Enhanced sentence can deflect projectiles without looking at them. That's true. Analytical prediction. Predicted goal uses movements. Correct. Expert swordsmanship. Martial arts. Sealing. Sealed Gilda. Yeah. That's one of Meliodas' most underrated abilities in my opinion. Everyone forgets he can seal. Like, everyone does. Even I do. Like, even I tend to forget he can seal. Because he only does it once. And, like, when it happens in the manga, it's not only in the side story that is not Grudge of Edinburgh, the Vampires of Edinburgh side arc when he seals Gilda at the end, but also it's super duper vague, and you don't get re-reference to that until he frees Gilda in that, like, right at the end of the series, and that gets glazed over really, really quickly because we have Demon King stuff to worry about. So I don't blame him for forgetting he can seal. Surface scaling, skill to building during his fight with Gilthunder. Correct. Attack reflection can reflect magic attacks and amplify them many times. Yeah. I mean, many times is funny, but yeah. Because it says it's more than double, but sometimes it is stated as many times, so I get why many times comes out. Meliodas is also shown the ability to reflect non-magical darkness, lightning, and even King's Disaster, which is invisible and homing attacks. That's funny thing. I'm cooking some battles. One of them is Sukuna versus Meliodas. King versus King. I'm going to do the Demon King versus Sukuna as well, properly, not just the versus battle variation. So there's some things cooking. And one of the biggest wonders that I have is, like, could Meliodas perceive the slashes? Because, like, people with extrasensory abilities in JJK can't seem to perceive the slashes. Like, I think the only one you may be able to argue, well, obviously Maharaga does, because he adapts to it. And maybe Gojo, but even then, I'm not sure about that. So, like, maybe Meliodas couldn't, but if he could, based on the fact that he's able to reflect, you know, disaster, specifically status promotion, which literally, I don't know, King just waves a hand at you, and supposedly things happen instantaneously, but Mel is able to, so, I don't know. With that being the case, let's see. Non-magical darkness. Interesting, non-magical darkness. Well, yeah. Yeah, he does do that. That's the weird thing. Darkness isn't actually considered magic, and the reason I say that is because we see the commandments who have confirmed zero magic at the time that they do this. They all fly with darkness. So, like, darkness isn't, like, a magical construct or anything like that. It's just a thing they can do. It's kind of like us with spit. Like, I didn't actually honk a loogie, if you couldn't tell. But I'm not going to honk a loogie randomly. But with it being the case, yeah, that's just a thing that they can do. It's why I find it weird, but also funny. Because Mel is able to manipulate and reflect darkness, which would make you think it's magic, but then again, we literally see it used tangible. But then again, there's that statement from Arthur in Four Knights where he's like, oh, this darkness is dark enough to have mass. I'm like, Arthur, you know demons just do that, right? So yeah, darkness isn't magical. It's why Zeldris is actually able to be held down by Meliodas' darkness when he does it. Because if it was magical, Zeldris would have just been able to stand up. He would have been like, Bucko, for real? But no, darkness is non-magical. Let's see, lightning and even King's Disaster. Power nullification can disperse magic attacks. Yep. Counter vanish. Density manipulation is truly in dark was powerful enough to have mass. I still don't get what that means. Like, of course it has mass. It's darkness, which is implied to be like a physical matter. Like when Dariari punches you with her darkness-covered hand when she lost her original one, like that's like an actual tangible thing. Like she hits you with something. So I never really got that statement. Rage power increases power within emotions, despite being heavily injured. True. Telepathy, yep. Very rarely used, but yeah. Air manipulation can make air blades with swords. Yeah. Even with twigs. Remember, he slices them out in half with an air slash. Like, air slash! Like, literally, he does it with that. He doesn't do it with anything else. Just literally swinging his swing. Swinging his stick. Oh my lord. Would that being the case, let's see. Air manipulation, illusion creation. I forget about that one. Aura and fear manipulation can project a dragon. Yep, he did that with Oslo. Oh, I guess that's technically illusion creation, I suppose. Duplication can create weaker clones of himself with Lost Vein. Once again, the weaker stuff is weird. Like, weaker physically? Weaker magically? I don't know. They can react in tandem with Meliodas. So either Meliodas is drastically holding back all the time in terms of his speed, or his clones are equal to him at least in reaction speed. I'm presuming it's at least reaction speed, but then again, that 30,000... there's weird stuff with that. I mean, I need to make a whole video talking about lost fate and all its eccentricities. Or inferior manipulation, which are power absorption can absorb others' commandments, which are demonic curses. Yeah, that's very specific, though. Absorption can power himself by absorbing the damage he takes. That's not very specific, though. He turns off his magic to, like, increase the amount of damage, but I think he can just do revenge counter verbatim without turning it off. That's what he does against the commandments, I'm pretty sure. Supernatural willpower scales Hendrickson's demons through its demon mode. Feeling nothing is still getting up to launch a final attack while buffed through numerous attacks. Oh yeah. One of which is capable of destroying internal organs. That is true. Immortality types 3. Not anymore. Not anymore. I mean, you could, if you think he's like his dad, because he's the biological child of the Demon King, then maybe he is immortal? But then again, the Demon King referenced the fact that he was getting old. Sure, he lived for over 1 billion years, considering he spent the 3,000-year time skip in Purgatory, and you count that out, and I think it's like 1,546,000,000 something thousand years. And like, he looked no worse for wear than pre-time skip when he was still in the mortal realm, or at least presumably in the realms that run on the main timeline. So maybe you think Mel's still immortal, but like in the sense that if you pierce him, he'll just come back. That's not a thing anymore. But I understand why they mentioned it here, presumably because this is sealed / prime, but then again, prime didn't have that either. Resurrection, returns to life, yeah. I think it's more than a month. I believe, maybe I'm misremembering. I thought he returned to life after the 6-month time skip. I may need to double check that though. I thought he returned to life when. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to Jimmy Neutron brain blast. Wasn't there a 6-month time skip after the commandments offed him, and then we came back, and then he rezzed? Maybe I'm misremembering. I don't know. What's it? Resurrection. Summoning can extract commandments he absorbed and summon them at will. That's true. Damage boost with Divine Slayer. Boost the senses magic card to the maximum perform Divine Slayer. Oh, okay. Enhanced power nullification and paralysis inducements superior to 2 commandments. Esterosa, prior to the Holy War, held the original command of love. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But that's only a prime thing. Transformation, limited. Instinctive reaction. Well, yeah, he can transform. Limited instinctive reaction. No soul to slash from Hellroom due to his darkness. Sees it by itself in order to protect him. Yeah, that's true. That's the thing. We don't ever really get an explanation for that, whether or not that's Meliodas' senses just manipulating his darkness form, or whether he does that himself. I don't know. It's never really elaborated on. Accelerated development. Replicated King's techniques moments after witnessing it. That is true. Meliodas, it's an underrated aspect of him, mainly because he very rarely does it, but he is very, very skilled at just like, your technique? Our technique. And he literally makes it. It literally does become our technique. But let's see. What resistances do they say he has? Demon Clan Physiology Resistance as well as resistances the following. Information Analysis. Meliodas is unaffected by Droll's Magic Eye, which is the same as Merlin's Eye. That allows the user to see combat class and power the opponent. That's true. It couldn't read his mind. Yeah. But I think Droll was able to tell how powerful Meliodas is. Because it's not like Meliodas was able to resist Balor in the original translation, but Droll's Eye, when it was attached to... Well, no. Balor is the name they gave him. But Balor's Eye that was attached to Hawk, like, Mel's power was able to be read then. So, I think it may be like, I think he has an immunity to mind reading, but not necessarily power reading. I think you can still tell that. Those abilities serve as a base of inspiration for Merlin's Balor Power Eye, which is true. Maybe that's just a difference. Maybe Joel can't see power, but then Merlin's device can, because she knows Mel, but I don't know. Meliodas adds credibility to the old legends, considering he's a comrade of Joel in the ancient war. It's true. Magic scaled from Alaska skeletons to resist magic with the negative energy of Meliodas directed by Meliodas. Oh! I never did think about that, yeah. I guess Meliodas does have like a passive resistance to magic. But I suppose it's just like a durability thing. Because the main reason... Well, then again, I'd have to reread that. There's so many little things that I need to check up on and brush my skills up on when it comes to sevendeadlysins. Telepathy, Joel's magic eye could not read his mind. Yep. Perception manipulation. I mean, he kind of fell for it. He kind of fell for his Eldris's thing. Poison, heat, and cold. Lives in purgatory without being affected by the extreme environment. I would say lives in the demon realm, because technically, I don't think we ever see Mel's real body in purgatory. Presumably, he has all the same resistances, but we never actually see that. Remember, his real body never actually enters purgatory. It's his emotions and or his soul that dives into purgatory every single time. So he technically doesn't have those. But the demon realm is very, very similar to purgatory, and he lived there his entire life for a majority. Well, not a majority of it, but for a good chunk of it. So presumably he still has those resistances, but it's not specifically because he was in purgatory. His soul was in purgatory. What's it? Regeneration negation. Mid could heal from noon. Escanor's attack to nullify the regeneration of Melascula. Oh yeah, that's true. I always forget about that, yeah. Because Escanor's attacks do have that, like, almost, not want to say existence erasure property that Arc does, but it does have, like, a permanent burn effect to the point where Melascula needs to be healed by an external healing source rather than her own demonic healing. And we've seen even, like, random demons just reattach hands. Or Gallon, we literally see him get cut in half and he can restore it, but Sun doesn't. So, that's true. Deconstruction. Superior to 2 Commandments of Sarosa. Oh, yep. Because 2 Commandments of Sarosa was said, like, it was supposed to deconstruct him down to demons can heal from what? I believe the cellular? So they were going for the molecular. But he somehow still resisted that. He's just him. I don't know. But you could chalk that up to Estarosa's goddess biology helping with that. But at the same time, he was turned into a demon. We know his goddess biology is what allowed him to take Arc. And we know the not the commandments, the graces are imbued with Arc magic. Or at least they're imbued with the Supreme Deity's power, which should have a similar basis to Arc magic. So maybe, but let's say. Temperature manipulation withstands the intense heat from Escanor, who can radiate heat that turns everything into nothing, even the Vampire King. That's true. He can resist the heat from lightning. That's also true. Biological manipulation, soul manipulation, possession, matter manipulation type 2 and 3. I'm assuming that all comes from... Some of it comes from the Demon King, like the resistance possession. He is able to resist and override the Demon King. Menace manipulation, soul manipulation, biological manipulation. I'm assuming that all comes from Purgatory. Sense manipulation, electricity manipulation, corruption. Purgatory, yep. Okay. Yeah. Once again, Meliodas technically never has been there. Well, he's been there soul-wise and spirit-wise. And he does have, like, a soul-spirit body. But, like, and then again, though, I think you actually, never mind, you may just have to say he was there. Even though his, like, because there's a weird thing about that, right? When Meliodas has the Demon King beat out of him, the Meliodas that shows up and basically overrode the original Meliodas' body data is the Meliodas that was in Purgatory. Like, they have the same fit and everything. So, legally speaking, if we're getting into semantics, and we're legally speaking here, technically, that is Purgatory Mel. So I guess you could give everything there, because you specifically see he's in the Purgatory fit. If he was back in, he was still like, or like didn't have anything on him, or I think he had pants still when he was in Assault Mode. Remember, he went into the cocoon before getting possessed by the Demon King, just post-resurrection after his battle with Escanor. But then he came out in his Purgatory fit. So I guess maybe you could argue overlap. But then again, and yeah, the thing is, we see his soul leaves, but I don't know, there's weird stuff with that. So, like, yeah, I can actually go with that. Purgatory can also cause the survivors to lose their sanity. Yep. Only Purgatory survivor could spend the Demon King's Supreme Deity's gilthunder. Yep. Resisted dead spirit's possession. Yep, that's also true. Alright. Assault mode. All previous abilities, force field creation, and power nullification create a barrier of darkness that destroys any kind of magic that passes through it, even most teleportation. That is true, because they needed Ludishell, and that's pretty impressive considering Merlin, who's Merlin. But you could argue Merlin may have been bluffing, because remember, she did want Mel to become the Demon King, so they could execute the Demon King. So, like, a little bit questionable whether or not Merlin could have just right on in there, but Merlin, in her head, does say the main reason they're able to breach that barrier, while Meliodas is forming the Ten Commandments, but well, fusing with the Ten Commandments, the main reason they're able to breach that barrier is because Ludishell and they have a commandment of their own, which is sort of welcoming them in there. So Mel could do that. Passive status effect inducement, disease manipulation, mind manipulation, corrosion inducement, exudes miasma that causes weaker beings to feel sick, even ones as powerful as Post-Training King. That is true. Miasma is also prone to rot and decay, shows mind and body. That is true. He does just passively release that. And Post-Training King being affected by that is very, very impressive, considering how powerful Post-Training King is. Resistance. Same as before, plus immunity to soul manipulation, empathetic manipulation, his soul and emotions are stolen by the Demon King. Assault mode can steal his assault mode can steal his soul and emotions. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a thing though anymore. Like, notably that happened because the Demon King slurped him up out of there. But let's see. Optional equipment, additional passive. Oh, okay, so these kind of don't matter because, you know, like, commandments. And the commandments don't even seem to matter once he becomes the Demon King, or the Demon King takes over his body. Let's see post-purg. All previous abilities minus immortality. Oh, okay, so yeah, they do address that. Minus immortality and resurrection. Commandments, but plus Dalmaku. Yep, Trillion Dark. Deconstruction, deconstructed the Supreme Deity. Is that what he did? Oh. Destroyed, wow. Oh, well, I guess that's true magic. Yeah. Possibly weather manipulation, environmental destruction. His presence offsets the balance of the world, generating cataclysms like world storm. Yep. Curse manipulation, non-physical interaction, existence erasure. Yep. Erase the Demon King's existence, leaving nothing behind, not even his consciousness. Yep, that's the big thing. Which is funny, because that's like just a generic thing that goddesses can do. Like, light and arc beams just erase you from existence. Because, I guess. Like, I don't know. We never really... we never really get any more elaboration on it. It's just that Nagaba's like, oh, BT dub, you can kind of just be erased from existence by goddesses. We kind of just have to go, huh? And we have to hold that. One second. And even his consciousness. But that is the main perk of true magic. Not just the power boost, but like also he can just delete you on a fundamental level. Even if, and this is the main reason I think true magic is still more impressive than Arc, even though Arc does have existence ratio properties. Remember, Chaos could have not been released unless the Supreme Deity or the Demon King were entirely eradicated. Entirely. Remember, the true body of the Demon King was still trapped in purgatory. Sure, he was missing an arm, but he was still trapped in purgatory. That was the thing that was transpiring. He never, in a similar vein to how I was talking about Meliodas earlier, never actually crossing into purgatory and coming back to the mortal realm until I changed my mind on that. The Demon King never actually leaves purgatory. He just incarnates through the commandments. Meliodas attacked the commandments, which are admittedly part of the Demon King's power, but not directly tied to him. Meliodas attacked the commandments, and it slaughtered the Demon King, who was in another dimension. And when I mean dimension, I don't even mean like dimension as in the demon world or the celestial realm or the fairy realm or anything like that. No. I mean like an actual separate time space that we don't know who created. Like, notably, we know the mortal realm. Well, not the entire mortal realm, at least the planet. The planet and the sun were, well, maybe not even the sun. I don't know. It's weird. The planet of Britannia and the Earth it takes place on, that was created by Chaos. Demon world, created by the Demon King. Celestial realm, created by the Supreme Deity. Fairy realm, created by the Great Fairy Tree. We don't know who made Purgatory. And that's still an up-and-coming mystery that we don't have an answer for. A lot of people assume it's Chaos, because Chaos made everything, right? But I don't know. Seems oddly suspicious. We know Chaos could be trapped there. Well, also in, like, pig form, but still. So, Purgatory is the only confirmed realm, at least unless I'm mistaken. I even think the Capital of the Dead, which is another separate realm, I think that runs on a linear time scale to the main realm too. But the Demon World, the Celestial Realm, the Mortal Realm, the Fairy Realm, they all run on the same time scale as the Mortal Realm. They all run on the same time flow. They're separate spaces, but they run on the same time flow. It's why you can spend time in the Demon World and, like, not eons will pass in the Mortal Realm. They all run on the same time flow. The only realm that is separately established to have its own unique time flow is Purgatory. So Meliodas attacked the Demon King's essence in the commandments, and it leaped realms. Like, somehow. And notably, that wasn't even him using his the craziest thing about it, that wasn't even him using his power properly. He was throwing it away. Once again, I made the comparison before. Imagine if instead of me, like say they were, I don't know, this is so odd, but like instead of, for the simple comparison of Meliodas throwing an attack at somebody, and, well, no, throwing the weapon at somebody rather than actually firing the weapon. Imagine if instead of me, and boom, at you, I just took the whole, like, spagooter and just threw it at you. And then, not only did it hit you and wipe you from existence, but also the other you that existed in a separate temporal dimension also got erased. That's how crazy true magic is. And I think that's why Nagaba got rid of it so quickly. But, yeah, true magic is nuts. But of course, he threw it away. Do we know if he has it back? Do I want him to have it back? Yeah. But will he get it back? Let's see. Okay, finally to attack potency. Sorry, I'm trying to go thoroughly as in-depth as possible and cover everything. Holy War? What are we getting into? Oh wait, resistance. Let me cover resistance as well. Sins before, plus resistance to mind manipulation, illusion creation, can resist cast power, which affects the victim's mind and creates illusions in their mind. That is true. Cast power is funny though. It kind of like shows you an alternate potential timeline too. But that's another thing. World creation, chaos stuff. But yeah, that is true. So any genjutsu stuff, Mel can resist it. Mostly, maybe, kind of, because Kath did have him live out like a majority of Elizabeth's lifespan in like a matter of a couple seconds. So Kath's genjutsu are kind of crazy. Like, it's ironically, we don't see any of the other illusions, but Kath kind of just off rip by looking at somebody performs like a Tsukuyomi level genjutsu, just like that. Like, time dilation and everything. But not a few seconds, and maybe at most a minute, because remember, Kath was going to consume them all, but Meliodas snapped out of it. Whole human lifespan. Elizabeth was, what, 16 or 17 by the end of the original series? All of that was gone. she literally perishes in front of Mel before he runs out to fight Kath. So, like, at least if she lives as long as her dad did, that's like 60 years. That happened in like 2 seconds. So, Kath is different. But also Mel's is different for being able to resist that. Let's see. Attack potency. Holy War. Actually, let's go with beginning of series. Let's start beginning of series. Alright. It's time. City level. Equal to Hendrickson. Fought the ladder and Gilthunder simultaneously. Casually split a mountain into with a slat. How does splitting a mountain count as city level? I'm gonna go through this. No, I won't. Never mind. I mean, I'm fine with that. Whatever. Because I know, like, technically, when you look at the mountain, you like calc it. I think it's not really a mountain. Like, it's a hill. It's a really big hill. But it's not actually a mountain. It's not like he went up to Mount Everest and was like, "Hey-ya!" with a stick. But he did cleave a large hill in half. So I can find. I'll go with city level for beginning of series. City level Demon Mark, Stomp on after you absorb base Meliodas' physical power. Yeah, city level plus, because it just be 2 city levels. Cave in and weaken Ash Hendrickson's chest. Ooh, Ash Hendrickson, I never called him that. At least mountain level with Lost Vein. Hard apart an Albion with air slashes, making him far stronger than the latter's full countered attack. True. Far higher with Wrath. Far superior to post-training Diane. His magic is portrayed as far stronger than the Demon Mark with Lost Vein. Higher at night. I wonder, okay. So they give Albion mountain level. There are multiple different calcs for Diane's Mother Catastrophe. Is Mother Catastrophe? Yeah, because Mother Creation is the later one. So, Mother Catastrophe, most people just put it at mountain level, though. Because, like, if you calc how big Diane is relative in the mass of the energy it would take to form that in the time span of the anime, that is like I low ends, mountain level, high ends, I've seen, like, country level. So, like, that, I can see issues with the beginning of series stuff, but, like, they get them up to mountain level for the Albion. And I can take that. You know, Albion's mountain size. It has more than enough power than Ash Hendrickson. I'm not going to call him Great Demon Hendrickson ever again. He's Ash Hendrickson from now on. But I can work with all that. So yeah, that's fine. Let's see. Unsealed. Large island level. Can fight opponents capable of harming him. Okay, yeah. 1/4 as powerful as his enlarged Demon Mark. I guess, yeah. Small... power level wise. Small country level with Demon Marks. Oh, okay. So, okay. Wait, what? With Demon Marks, his physical strength is equal to Diane, the full power of Droll's dance? Yep. I can see that. Consistently stomped a somewhat weakening Droll and Gloxinia, implied he could slaughter them much more quickly. Far higher with Assault Mode, much stronger than Demon Marks, casually stomped and knocked out the one Escanor with 2 blows, although he was far inferior to his later self, even failing to damage base Meliodas due to having little mastery over his powers. True. Up to country level with magic imbued weaponry, higher at night. Oh, okay. Casually stopped to knock out the one Escanor with 2 blows, even though far period later self even failing to damage base Meliodas. Yep, this is the flashback chapter for Escanor. Up to country level with magic imbued weaponry, higher at night. Alright, so they're going unsealed. Wow. Country level? I wonder what they're doing to get to that. That's interesting. I mean, there are a couple different things. You can just argue, well, you know, relative to a Grace user, like, the lowest end I've seen for Tarmiel's ocean creation feat is country level. So if you argue, you know, scalable to commandments who should be relative, if not superior to Galen who's able to bisect Tarmiel who has enough energy contained inside of him to create an entire ocean, you go with the lowest calc of that ocean, it's country level, I can take that. I'll take it. I'll take it. You won't hear me complaining. Because, golly, we peaked at island level before. We ain't even at post-resurrection Meliodas, so we're already hitting country? Golly, I'm clicking my heels right now. I feel like a little schoolgirl. What? Let's see, post-revival. Small country level, comparable to Esterosi, casually stomped Derriere. That's interesting. Well, I guess the thing is, with Assault Mode being introduced to be a thing that Unsealed Meliodas could do pre-10-year time skip at the start of the series, it does throw a wrench into the idea, but usually base Mel is stronger than every previous variation of him from the arc before. Like, beginning of series, Wrath, a Demon Mark Mel, is inferior to base Unsealed Mel. Post-Resurrection Mel is stronger than what was to believe at the time be just Demon Mark Mel. That was believed to be his peak, but then obviously Assault Mode got reintroduced, and it looks like, yeah, they get him at the small country level with this, and then it makes sense why they keep him at small country level for base if you assume that he isn't stronger than his Assault Mode self. Oh yeah, I can work with that. Comparable to Esterosa, casually stomped Derriere. Yep. Well, once again, comparable through power levels. Realistically, I mean, like, he should be able to go bar for bar. But let's see. Country level with Demon Mark. Enhances his power twofold and can enlarge his Demon Mark to further double his power. So we are just going with each stage of Demon Mark is a doubling. Okay. Far Higher with Assault Mode can one-shot Alaska's Gloom Cocoon by suddenly transforming, whereas Enchanter Tristan merely split it in two. Oh. Oh. So we are bringing it. That's a weird thing though. I mean, I get, because technically Enchanter, interesting. These are some interesting names. I always call it just Triskelion or Goddess Tristan, but Enchanter Tristan? May have to steal that too. Maybe copying some names from this. Ash Hendrickson, Enchanter Tristan. May have to start stealing things. The thing about Melascula's Gloom Cocoon versus Chaos Melascula's Gloom Cocoon is that Chaos Melascula is implied to be stronger based off Galen's statement, and Tristan is able to slice that in half, and plus it's two like, they're named the same thing, but like, I don't know. If I were to seal you in a ball of ice and a ball of fire, technically they perform the same function eventually, in terms of like keeping you trapped and doing damage to you, but like, they are a little bit different, but hey, I mean, I'll take country level. I'm assuming this all comes off of Tarmulo. I haven't necessarily seen a reason for why they get him up to country level yet. Large country level. Post-purgatory and base, yep. As 1/4 as strong as his large demon mark, grossly overpowered Demon King's Elders. Okay. So we are still going with the Demon World's only country size. I'll take it. Whatever. I mean, I'll take it. You know, getting at the country level at all for sevendeadlysins versus Battle Wiki is still great. Higher with Demon Mark, Tesla Stomp, second form Demon King's Elders, consistently portrayed as comparable to Bonding King, even higher with Assault Mode. Okay, so they're talking about Demon Mark. Assault Mode, likely continent level of True Magic, should be superior to Assault Mode with Lost Veins power. True, describe his power as well. Beyond the Demon King, which is form he's referring to as unknown, destroy the commandments. Most likely, I always assume that Zelda's referring to the 50% Demon King, because I don't think he ever would have met another one, and like, unless he was comparing the power that was in his body before that, like, this is gonna sound so stupid, but unless he was comparing what he was just at, like the Prime Demon King before the commandments got kicked out of him and all that extra power left, then maybe you could argue he's talking about Prime Demon King, but presumably you just go with 50%. Because that's what Zeldris would most commonly know the raw power of. As well, beyond the Demon King, through which form he's commandments, albeit losing the form, and 50% of Demon King's arm. Okay. Cannot stay in the world as power offsets the balance of the world and generates anomalies such as tornadoes and tsunami throughout Britannia that would eventually destroy the country. Yeah, an official translation is just country, mainly because we don't, like, I don't know why. Nappa just pretends like the rest of the world doesn't exist for some reason in sevendeadlysins. I don't know. At least fundamental plus with magic and weaponry enhances his power nearly tenfold. Oh, well, yeah. Not nearly. Well, if you go by what Lance says, or Sin says in Four Knights, actually just tenfold, not nearly tenfold. Broke Supreme Deity's barrier and severely damaged her alongside Zeldris, higher at night. Alright. I mean, once again, you've heard my complaints. I'll complain again. Demon King. You know, that fella right there, destroyed the world. Not destroyed the world. Created the Demon World. Demon World. Shown in the... At bare minimum, like, even if you don't want to go with planetary, which is fine. I can understand that. I can fully respect that. If you don't want to go with planetary, or anything like that, or solar system, or anything like that, you assume that the star in the Cursed by Light movie is not a star, it's an explosion caused by, what's his name? The Chad Fairy King, what's his name? I know, what is his name? I know his name way too well. Why am I struggling to remember his name? He's giga thick. He's the muscular Chad Fairy King. Dahlia. You could assume that it's just Mel and Dahlia's clash that caused that large bright light. Fine, go with that. Even though, like, you can, like, I've gone down frame by frame. You can see that the sun is there beforehand, but fine. You go with that, and you assume Chion's statement where he says, "Oh yeah, there's no day or night cycle here." So you assume, okay, there isn't a sun. At bare minimum, the Demon King created 2 moons. Like, we see those. That's the thing. We see those. And it's explicitly stated that the Demon King made the demon level. The lowest you can go is moon level. It should be higher, but the lowest you can go is moon level. And then just go lower from there. So, like, at bare minimum, like, I think the lowest you can go, if you assume Mel doesn't scale at all, he just is just barely above 50% of the Demon King, even though that's wrong. At bare minimum, I think the lowest, the tiniest you can go, being conservative as all get out, would be moon level. Or like multi-continental, if you assume he only scales about 50%, and it took the Prime Demon King, who I guess Mel would just never scale to, even though it's shown not to be true. You would have to take half of that, which I think, like, half of moon level or smaller is like multi-continental plus. But even then, like, the 2 moons are there. It's basically impossible. We see them. We see them, and the Demon King made that place. I'm fine with you not going with the lore meta, or the sun meta, or the supreme deity meta, where, you know, we know Mel invades the celestial realm, he runs into Mael, Mael's wielding sun in the celestial realm, because we know sunshine operates off the rotation of the planet around a star, sun, yada yada yada, star meta. Fine, whatever. If you don't rock with that, you don't rock with star level supreme deity and demon king, even blah 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 blah. You don't rock with that, you gotta at least go with that. Unlike with that one flashback chapter where we don't see a sun, and in the arguably non-canon movie, well, I think just non-canon movie, Prisoner of the Sky, we don't see a sun in the celestial realm. You have to at least go with moon level, because we see 2 moons. Which should by proxy mean planetary, because what are the moons rotating around? But moon level, at a bare minimum. But I'll take Continental Plus. I'm just kind of intrigued to where they get the leap from. Because I get this. I get beginning of series mountain level, because Albion. I get that. But then we leap up. I wonder what they use for the city level feat, though. Maybe they just use a low ball monthly catastrophe. I don't know. But I want to know where they get small country to country level. That's what I'm intrigued at. I'm assuming it's off Tarmiel, but they don't even mention them here. So I'm interested in that. What do they say about the Holy War before leaving the Four Knights? Country level, as strong as a large demon mark. Post-revival base, stay to be on par with the 10 Commandments. Yep. At least country level, demon marks, terrified Ludishell. Oh, okay, so this is Prime. Oh, so they do have Prime. They just don't specify them in the upper tabs with the images. Terrified Ludishell, who need assistance with targeting starting to face them. Yep. And, okay, yep, country level plus, because it's Tarmiel. Okay, yeah. At least the large country level assault modes also imply that Meliodas wouldn't be defeated by the one Escanor, even after he was affected by Ominous Nebula. As the prime candidate for the Demon King vessel and the leader of the Ten Commandments, he should be far stronger than both Zeldris and Cas Melascula. Oh, Cas Melascula places Meliodas' strength in a different league to their own. That is true. Up, content level plus with magic can be. Whoa, wait a minute, what? Magic can be Reparee, Power of Darkness, higher form of Destroyer magic, destructive power, really tenfold higher at night. But see, then again, that creates issues here. Because you can't, I don't know, at least in my opinion, there's no because the cliffing is clean. Like, it's hard cliffing, too, when it comes between Prime Mel, or at least what I refer to as Prime Mel, leader of the Ten Commandments, Meliodas. That Meliodas. The cliffing is clear. It is hard, it is finite, and it is basically impossible to argue. Prime Meliodas, and his strongest, meatiest, and beefiest, even if you assume the Demon King stripped away the commandment right before he fought him, and then the Demon King was at 55% power. It is clear, by what little we see of that encounter, that Mel and Elizabeth, in their primes, and Elizabeth, who never had any sort of goddess buff, Mel and Elizabeth, in their primes, could not touch their parents. Like couldn't lay a finger on them. They were just that beefy, that powerful, that insane. So, with that being the case, if they're thinking Holy War, Prime Mel, top limit of his power is Continental Plus with magic imbued weaponry, and this Prime Mel wasn't able to do diddly to the Demon King, and then we see a base post-purg Mel go up against a stronger variation of the Demon King, because remember, it would be the 10 Commandments that were infused in Zeldris, plus Zeldris' own base power, which is already very, very high. So it should be at least stronger than the Demon King that Mel couldn't touch in the past. Base post-purg Mel would have to be stronger than his prime self. Just based on how clear that is. We have two 50% Demon Kings, plus maybe an extra commandment, plus a commandment tier fighter. One version of Mel at their strongest, unable to touch him. Another version of Mel at their most baby, like not even pulling out Lost Way, nothing, no magic infusion, nothing, is bullying that Demon King. So I don't know. These are a little bit inconsistent, just going off how the scaling works, at least from my own understanding of scaling. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but in my opinion, you can't have Continental Plus Holy War Prime Meliodas, if I'm reading this right, and then only have Continental Plus, or no, large country level base Mel, or then Continental Plus True Magic. Because that would imply that full power, True Magic, Lost Vein wielding Mel is as strong as his beginning, well no, Holy War Prime self at full power, which is just clearly not the case. The series explicitly shows us that. So I'm a dibble a little bit of questionable sauce on that one, but I'll take Continental plus amount, whether it makes sense within the scaling of the series or not. So let's say 4 Knights of the Babalaba. Large country level, far more powerful. See, once again, base Mel should just be more powerful than this. King Mel should be much stronger than this full power. But let's see, large country level. Ain't no way. Ain't no way I just peeped that. Ain't no way my eyeballs just clicked on multi-continental. I ain't just reading no multi-continental just there, did I? Did I? Wait a minute. Rewind. Take it back. Multi-continental? Hold on now. Wait a minute. Let's see. At least large country level, far more powerful than Demon Tristan. Yep, in base. Portrayed as much more of a threat to Arthur than its own full countered attack. Yep. Which would have at least harmed Demon Tristan before it was reflected. Yep. It destroyed Arthur's staircase, whereas full counter inflicting no damage. That's also true. At least continent level with demon marks, his Trillion Dark dealt minor damage to Arthur, according to Arthur himself. Okay, yeah. Meliodas could have damaged Arthur far worse, such as not interfering in the fight. That's true. Superior to Lancelot. That's questionable now. Far higher than Solomon, up to multi-continental matching imbued weaponry. Okay. Wow. Huh. I'll take multi-continental king. I mean, I'll take it. Once again, I still think that it's once again kind of a soft low ball. I know y'all are getting sick of that, but like it is kind of a soft low ball. But for Versus Battle Wiki to get multi-continental Mel, even if it is with magic imbued weaponry exclusively, and presumably assault mode, because there's stacking the assault mode multiplier on top of the tenfold multiplier that comes from magically imbued weapons. They don't mention the sacred treasure multiplier. There are like 15 billion different arguments you can make for the sacred treasure multiplier. You could say it's just 2 times, like it's like a demon mark amp. You could say you could go with King's direct analogy and take it at face value. Then it's like 30,000 times, because like how much water you can hold in the cup versus how much water is in a lake, and you just count that based on how much water was in the lake that King is referencing. You could go with the fact that you get the tenfold amp on top of that. Like, there are things you could do. There are things you could do to get much higher than just a little multi-comp. But like, hey, I'll take it. Okay, Versus Battle Wiki. Look at you leveling up. I do want to see some of the arguments for it though, because once again, there's no like, unless once again, I don't typically go to Versus Battle Wiki that often. The only time I'll ever do it is like if I'm writing a versus battle and I'm like, wait a minute, does such and such have this ability or this resistance? And then I'll run there and I'll check, because they do. Once again, I appreciate it. You can see I was even struggling forgetting some abilities here in the powers and abilities section. But for the scaling, I never really do it. But usually they have like an argument why. But outside the Albion one, which is stated to be like a mountain size thing, we don't really get any arguments for country level. I'm assuming it's Tarmiel. If I had to go off a guess, it would be Tarmiel. So I'm probably going to click back to the Nanatsu no Taizai and see what their power is and see how they're getting like multi-continental country and stuff like that, because that'll be interesting to see. Ultivistic, at least. Oh, okay. Let's go to the beginning of the series first, because also they aren't. Okay. Holy, okay. Oh, they were about to have me start losing my mind. I was gonna go insane, but we'll play it tame. Versus Battle Wiki got me feeling some type of way. But yo, I'm hyped off that first line alone. Once again, let's go in order, beginning of series stuff. Masway Ebersonic, counter Gilthunder's lightning. We'll take that. We'll take it. That's the most basic argument. It's one of the things I always talk about. I need to do a proper video talking about like sevendeadlysins speed. But like, unironically, Gilthunder's the outlier. Like, lightning speed is the outlier. Realize the most fodder goddesses, the most woody water goddesses, they wield arc particles. They wield arc, which is light particles, photons. Photons move at the speed of light. And typically, there are some goddesses who do different shaped attacks. But like, Ludishel stated numerous times outside in external materials, admittedly. I don't think there's ever stated in... It's never stated in the manga, because that one panel that everyone glues for you to show is a mistranslation. In the official manga, I think it's never mentioned that he moves at light speed. But like, it's stated numerous times in external materials that Ludishell, light speed, bare minimum. He moves at light speed. So there's that. Once again, goddesses wield arc, light particles, everyone spams light. Bada bing, bada boom. Gother uses light. Other Gother uses light. Everyone uses light. And obviously, the commandments, heck, well, on the beginning of series sins, they're all above fodder goddesses. So, like, light speed is, ironically enough, the more consistent thing. Gilthunder is, like, the only lightning user. So he's kind of an outlier, but I'll take massively hypersonic plus. Subrelativistic with... Subrelativistic with Demon Mark. Oh, okay. Subrelativistic, so that's like, what, 0 to 10%? Alright, I'll take that. Added speed to his own, at least subrelativistic, easily blitz gallant. Okay. Okay, so that's base unsealed. I call it post-druid, but like, I know a lot of people call them unsealed. Subrelativistic with a large demon mark. Subrelativistic plus can increase side demon mark, quadrupling his speed. Oh, quadruple it! Subrelativistic faster than the previous demon marks, easily kept up in outplaced area. Yep, so that's post-resurrection base. Relativistic with a large demon mark. So they just say relativistic, so that's like, what, 50% speed of light? Higher with assault mode? Okay. Realistically, if he's 50% the speed of light with demon mark, at least slap the assault mode multiplier on him, he'd at least have to be speed of light. He'd have to be SOL. Because if you, at the lowest you can take assault mode is another 2 times amp. So if you think demon mark is 2 times amp, and then he can enlarge it, or go assault mode, that should be another 2 times amp. He should be speed of light, but I'll take it, whatever. Because they may have him like 49%, so he's almost speed of light. He's 98% speed of light. FTL, Stomped Demon King Zelda. Intercepted an attack from full power Demon King Zeldas despite enlarged Demon Mark Zeldas being unable to react to a blast from Demon King Meliodas. True. So they just have him at FTL. Finally. Shout outs to everybody who's been cooking on Versus Battle Week. I'm so I gotta go. Sorry. Got me pacing. Woo. Yes. Yes, y'all really went the distance and got dropped in a dream, y'all. Yo. I'm leaning with a rocket with. Yes. All right. FDL, once again. I'm guessing it's based off the Ludishell stuff, right? Casually blitz, at least FDL. Oh, yeah. So that's bait. So they got, okay, they even got base King Mel at FDL. I'll take that. Higher with Demon Marks, even higher with the Summon and True Magic. All right. They don't do multipliers on it. But I guess, like, then again, if you just think, like, if you think he's at least 10 times stronger in True Magic than he is in base, because, you know, 2 times 2 times 2, because if you think first stage Demon Mark is a 2 times multiplier upon his base, then he'd be 2 times the speed of light. Well, no, if it's at least FT, let's just go 1. Let's just say he's speed of light. 2 times Demon Mark 1, you think the second stage, which they do believe, they think each stage is a 2 times multiplier. Whether or not that I believe that, I don't know, I'd have to review. But 2 times 2 times 2 for the 3 stages of Demon Mark. So 2, 4, 8. Assault mode would be another 2 on top of that at a bare minimum. So that's 16. And then True Magic at bare minimum would be twice that as well. So that's 32. So 32 times the speed of light. I think that's at least FTL plus, but I'll take FTL. Your boy's not going to be complaining. At least relativistic. FTL with enlarged D-Mark competed for a Ludishell surprise again. High with assault mode. Alright. I'll take it. I will definitely. I will eat that up. Lifting crash. Oh lord. Lifting strength. Class T high with team marks, even higher with assault mode. G. I don't know none of this stuff. I don't give a darn about no darn lifting strength. Let's see. Striking strength, country level, large country level, assault mode. Okay, that's holy war. City level, plus a D mark, mountain level, up with wrath. Okay, yep. Large island level, small country level, far higher with assault mode, striking. Yep. Okay, so this is face attack potency. Durability, survive to mass beam from the Ten Commandments, weaken on speed. Yep. All this is lining up. Country level, continental level, demon mark. Yep. I can work with all that. Once again, attack potency equals durability in the sevendeadlysins universe, except for like Elizabeth and Merlin. And even then, they eat some beefy attacks. So, like they are weird glass cannons, but they aren't actually glass cannons. Stamina superhuman. On more than one occasion, taking long barrages of attacks from comparable stronger characters in order to receive as much damage as possible and keep fighting. Here's the thing, though. Funny thing is, if you go with the idea that Soul Meliodas in his body data overrided the original Meliodas' body data, and they are now the same thing, Superhuman's actually a low ball for stamina. Because he fought Bond while in Dragon Darkness form, so maybe you argue that doesn't count, for 112 years. But remember, he fought with Bond, Wild, and the Demon King for 60 years straight. Bro fought for a lifespan. So he's much more, he has like nigh on infinite stamina. Actually, I do want to check Bond. I want to check Bond and see how much stamina they have. I'm going to do his own versus Battle Wiki review, because now I'm excited. I have to go, I'm going to probably do each one of the sins now. Maybe different characters, who knows? Let's see. Range, extended melee range, tens of meters range attacks, card of Albine's Arm, yep. Wind, severely damaged Stroll, who's 25, yep. Tens of kilometers, the power of darkness, 100 kilometers, true magic. Yep, okay. That's kind of a funny thing, but I'll take it. Standard equipment, Lost Vein, yep. Intelligence above average, gifted, genius in combat, extremely skilled fighter, and a strategist over 3,000 years of experience. He's capable of learning and improving techniques at an accelerated rate, and shown especially skilled in swordplay with a number of versatile techniques that he routinely uses in battle. Factuals. And cursed by light, he claimed to have seen the Demon King's thoughts and memories after his possession. Oh, wow. Standard tactics, uses sword for close range combat, magic, greater range, and he can use hand-to-hand. Weaknesses, formerly lost the capacity of rational thought. Yep, that's old. All demons are vulnerable to holy magic, break down. Yeah, but they don't really take too much damage from that. Regeneration used by demon heals, but not the damage dealt. Yeah, so their stamina wears down. More demon regeneration the good they get. Eventually reach to the point where they no longer energy regenerate. Same as before, minus regeneration weakness. Oh. Afraid of using his original magic power. Oh, okay. Notable attacks, techniques, demon. High-level demon can access demonic biology to give himself a boost in physical ability and various other advantages. Meliodas can activate and deactivate his demon mark at will. At night, his magic power increases. The translations vary. Some just say double. Like, in one translation I see a lot, like, chion just says doubles at night. But then I think the official translation and other translations I've seen just say demonic power increases at night. So, if you want to take it as flat 2 times amp, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. Assault mode, simply referred to as Meliodas restrained to the full extent of his power, as when he led to lead the 10 Commandments of the past. It is not a transformation in the usual sense of the word. His total power level in this form is 142,000. That number is instantly outdated. Like, notably, it's confirmed that Meliodas, after the fight with Escanor, during the fight with Escanor, he was not actually restored to his true prime self. And number 2, he just keeps getting stronger. And stronger. Like, actually generally returning to his true prime self. The only thing you can argue is that maybe the power level doesn't increase, but the power level would increase because he literally gets stronger. And like, based on his scaling as his holy war self, his power level has to be higher. Like, for it to make feasible sense for the narrative to work on a power level, this sounds so stupid, but literally on a power level, he has to be at bare minimum like 400,000. Because he should scale at least relative. Low end relative. Well, no, he should just be stronger than Chandler and Cusack on the lowest end, because Zeldris is stronger than both either of them with just Omnis Nebula. He's stronger than that Zeldris, so he at bare minimum should be over like 178,000. So that 142,000 is kind of outdated. Though Assault Mode is a unique transformation that does add another multiplier on top of his base. Power of Darkness, yep. Enhanced durability, yep. Shield, flight, self healing. That is true. Weapon creation, yep. Sealing, yeah. We don't see many demons seal, but that is a thing they do. Yep, creates wings, destroys Danafor, crushes opponents under darkness. This is the one reason I don't blame people for thinking that darkness is magic, is because this use, which is clearly a Meliodas' darkness, is portrayed like Hellblaze. That's the one issue. That's the only thing. This is very, like, let me even click on it. This very clearly looks like Hellblaze. This is the same coloration Nakabe used for Hellblaze, and in the same panel, you see him using the darkness from his assault mode to restrain them, but this literally cannot be Hellblaze. One, because it has a gravitational effect, which Hellblaze is never shown to do, but also, it runs into an issue where, ultimately, it wouldn't make sense for Zeldris to not be able to get up if that was just Hellblaze. So it has to be darkness. Creates multiple darkness blades to extend his reach. True. Creates wings. Reconnects his arm. Yep. Immortality Curse. Irrelevant now. Sensing. High-level demons can sense magical energy. Yep. Soul Stretch and Absorption. He never uses this. Never does. But he can do it. Yep. He can do it through touch. Let's see. Demons can extract souls and absorb them to restore their magic power, as well as gain the knowledge of their victim. Both lesser demons and higher demons have been shown extracting many souls at once from a distance, though they seem to prefer using touch to extract souls. When a soul is eaten, it is completely destroyed, removing the victim from the cycle of reincarnation. It is important to note that Meliodas, a good protagonist, has not used this ability. Exactly. I bring it up in my optimization of Meliodas video. That's an ability he should use much more often if he was actually optimal. He doesn't even have to eat the soul, because admittedly eating the soul does erase them from existence. Like, it literally erases them from the cycle of reincarnation. But, like, you don't even have to eat it. Just pull it up. Telepathy, like several high-class demons, basic telepathy, spoke to Dreyfus, who's possessing fraudulent, yep. And guarded his mind, yep. Commandments, I'll cover the commandments in their own video when I'm talking about the commandments on our Versus Battle Wiki front. Right now, this doesn't matter. And the thing is, this is actually a little outdated. We do know the effects of all of the commandments now. Nagaba gave us those in extra materials. But obviously, this doesn't really matter. Like, the commandments don't really matter. They're a racial existence. Full counter. Yep. Reflect match properties at least double the original power. That's true, provided he can properly time his counter. Exactly. Meliodas has shown the ability to reflect several attacks at once, provided they are all coming directly to him. For simultaneous spaced-out attacks, Meliodas can take advantage of Lost Fane's clone ability to counter them at once. Correctamundo. Counter vanish rather than reflecting an attack. Meliodas can disperse it, nullifying it. He uses palm rather than his sword. There's no indication he has to use his palm. I mean, there is kind of indication. We never see him do it any other way. I don't think he could use a sword, but maybe he can. Revenge counter. Meliodas loses power so he can take as much damage as possible. After he has charged himself with enough damage, he returns all a single massive attack directly to his opponent, though he is shown to be his last resort. He doesn't have to, but in the Henderson fight, he does lower his power, mainly because a lot of the characters there wouldn't have been able to damage him if he stayed at full power. But we see in the commandments jumping, he doesn't actually have to lower his power. That's why they're all caught off guard by it towards the end, because they're like, whoa, wait, what? Because they didn't realize he was accumulating the damage. But they were actually strong enough to harm him, whether or not he was using his full power. Hellblaze. Meliodas can generate the Black Purgatory Fire of the Demon Clan, but an evolved variation of it capable of nullifying the regeneration of immortals, like Bon. They put immortals in quotation marks, but Bon has literally regenerated from drops of blood. That man has real good immortality. He's got that good. Hellblaze can be coated on Meliodas' body or weapon through Enchant Hellblaze to enchant his strikes. He can also create fireballs in his hand that explode into large infernos and release a large blast from his sword. The black fire cannot be put on normally. It was able to burn down the Fairy King's forest despite the forest being immune to natural fire. Yep, Hellblaze is just really good. He doesn't use it as often as he should, but when he does, it's very useful. Divine Slayer, one of Meliodas' most powerful techniques that requires him to heighten his senses and power to their limit. He coats his sword in black flames and unleashes a large slash of fire at his target. Correct. I always forget that he used it on them. But with that being the case, let's see. Divine 1,000 slashes. It just cuts. Purgatory fire and cuts. Yep. Trillion dark. Darkness of small spears, highly concentrated darkness as opponent. That is true. They can be used as a shield. They can be used as a weapon, but he mainly uses them as a weapon. Perfect. Lost Vein. Is a sacred treasure as a curved sword, far superior to normal weapons. Far superior to normal weapons indeed. But let's see. Get in there! Let's see. Curved sword, air slashes, dent it, physical clone. Lost Vein allows Meliodas to make physical clones of himself. Number of clones determines the power level of each one. For example, single clones Meliodas at the power level, half the power is divided among each clone. For instance, 4 clones would have 1/8 the power of the original Meliodas. The clones can fight on Meliodas' behalf to serve distraction as well as useful counter. Note Meliodas is not weak at all by making clones. Another thing to note with Lost Vein, the clones are able to react in tandem with him, which at least to me implies they have similar reaction speed and combat speed. Raw power, very debatable, considering what base Meliodas should have been able to do to Frondrin. So if they had exact physical equals, then maybe they shouldn't. But even then, technically Frondrin shouldn't be able to tag that Meliodas either. That's the one wrench in it. But like every single time the clones are used, they're able to react in tandem to Meliodas, despite being at an eighth of his power. Which either means Meliodas is much faster than he actually displays himself to be commonly, or Nagaba forgets that they're weaker. With that being the case, I believe that's it. Yep, notable victory. Yeah, ever since he got updated, he hasn't had any battles. But okay, all right. Googly darn it, ladies and gentlemen. I am biggity bamboozled myself, if I do say so. Hold on. Yeah, this is very wow. I'm impressed. I've heard that y'all were going to battle, going to war on it, and I'll take it very cleanly. There's one thing I do want to take a look at in a book at reading Rainbow. But overall, this is very good. Honestly, for a low end for Meliodas, this is not bad for any of his variations. Whether it be the city level from the start, whether it be the country level to the multi-continental at the end. Sure, there are some weird things that could go higher. Okay, so this hasn't... Okay, so this has been updated. Alright, we'll leave that be. Actually, I want to take a peek. I want to take a peek at one character. I'm going to spoil myself just a little bit before another video. I want to take a peek at one other character. Come here, big bro. You know you wanna, Mr. Pendragon. Let me just see what they say about you. I just want to take a peek. Oh, they don't even mention it no more. Small country level. No. Post-resurrection. Multi-continental level. Okay, so they just say multi-con. Okay, multi-continental. All right, that's fine. They don't even mention it. So they don't talk about the planet creation stuff like that. That's fine. That's fine. Overall, very, very good. Very, very good. I am proud of y'all. Everyone who went to war for it, I 100% respect it. Now, shoot, let me do some more versus battle wiki versus battle using their stats, considering they're updated. We got speed of light. We got way more than I was really expecting. Like, super, super good stuff, y'all. I am very, very, very impressed. So, in the end, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Big Papa Mel was portrayed accurately here? Do you think he was lowball? Do you think he was highball? Do you think he falls somewhere in between? Please let me know all that and more in the comment section down below. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, please do me a favor and leave the sin of wrath in the comment section down below. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. Remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that little notification bell so you do not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month, getting things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You know, so now become a member to the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is that guy with the pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members, Recliner Plays, Red Wolf 4765, Greyhound, and Akid's Void. And I'd like to give another thank you to our $5 patrons, Victor, Sean, Midnight Gemlord, Kevin, DemXLND, and Igneal. And I'd like to give a chunky old thank you to our $7 member, Autumn's Morning Lazo. And I'd like to give another chunka thank you to our $10 patrons, Robbie Uchio, Joaquin, Idemokami, and China Doll 09. I'd like to give a hefty thank you to our $25 member, Alex Ice Rose. I'd like to give another giga gargantuan thank you to our $25 patron, Calvin Elder.